Hey everybody, this is Devin with HDpiano.com, and in today's video we're going to be learning A Song for You by Leon Russell. It's a beautiful piano part, and we're going to get through the intro and about half of the first verse in this video, but the rest of the videos with the rest of the song can all be found over at HDpiano.com. So here's what we're doing today. It looks like this. Into the verse. All right, so we're going to get through that much here. And like I said, the rest of the song can be found over at hdpiano.com, home of the hybrid piano lesson. So before we begin, I've got a question for you. Is this the first version of this song that you heard? I'm asking because the first version I heard was actually played by Donny Hathaway, and I was totally struck by this song. And, you know, this was many years ago, and then when I finally realized, like, oh, this is actually a Leon Russell song, it kind of really turned me on to Leon Russell, and went down the rabbit hole with that one. So let me know in the comments below. Is this the first version you heard? Are you a big Leon Russell fan, or did you discover this through another cover, or how'd you end up here? All right. Well, the intro is very classical sounding, and it appears complicated, but I'll let you in on a little secret. It's actually not that hard. We start with a major third on B flat and D in our right hand. So middle C, by the way, is way down here. So we're up an octave, another octave, and then we're sandwiching that C with B flat and D. And all we're doing is taking this major third from B flat to D, moving it down a half step to A and C sharp, A flat C, G B, G flat B flat, F A, E G sharp, E flat G, D F sharp, D flat F, C E, B D sharp, B flat D. Keep going, A, C sharp, A flat C, G, B. Now here, well, we do it one more time. G flat, B flat, and then we hit the F, but then we go down to D. So it finally changes the pattern there. So we'll get there in a second. I don't need to call out those notes again because the pattern is fairly self-explanatory. So take your major third, just make sure that, if you want to start off real slow, you could even just start by playing two notes at a time so that you get a kind of a visual guide of what's happening. All the way down to here, and then we hit F, and we go down to D. So when you put it together, nice and slow, all right, it's a lot of notes, and it's a little boring at that tempo, but just make sure that you got it under your fingers, at a slow, comfortable tempo before you try and play it at the speed of the recording. And the recording, it's pretty fast, and it gradually slows down, something like this. I believe it kind of holds that first note too, just a little longer than the rest. And I'm kind of letting that pedal ring out. You probably want to let it off by the time you start getting down into this register. But it creates kind of a nice effect to let that pedal ring. Very eerie. Start slowing down. All right, so let's say we're good on that, okay? We got our major third starting B flat and D, and we're getting all the way down an entire octave, and then all the way down to G flat and B flat before we separate from the pattern and we play G flat, B flat, F, D, C sharp, A. And that's kind of like our little transition lick to get us into these parallel sixths. So we're playing C sharp to A, it's a minor sixth. B flat to G, that's a major sixth, technically, the interval. But we're drawing from D harmonic minor. If any of you guys have any theoretical background or took any classical lessons, you might have learned this scale. So we're basically playing sixth from this scale. So C sharp to A, B flat to G, A to F, G to E, F to D, E to C sharp, D to B flat, and then we land together on C sharp and A. All right, so we have our transitional lick here. And now we start descending in the sixth. And we hold the C sharp and A. All right, so the entire intro, I'll go ahead and play through it one more time, and then we'll move into the verse. Looks like this. All right. In terms of dynamics, you want to start it kind of strong. Don't want to start it too strong. You don't want to hurt anybody's ears. It's a pretty clashy part. But definitely start it strong and then let it fade out until we get to this very somber end here. And in terms of pedaling for the second half, where we do the parallel sixth, I was more or less trying to reset on each sixth. But if you're playing a real piano, really feather that pedal so you kind of like dampen the string a little bit, but you still get a little bit of ring. It's tough on an electric keyboard, but depending on the software you're using or the quality of the keyboard, sometimes they have that kind of resonance option. But it's always nice to just kind of get a little more ring from the previous notes. But if you play it with the pedal down in this register, it's a little muddy, so I wouldn't recommend that. Okay, well that's the intro. Let's check out the verse. We're very low on the piano here, and we're bringing our left hand in the lowest possible octave Ds that you can play. Now, if at any point you don't have the range, say on your electric keyboard or whatever instrument you're working with, that's totally fine. You can bring it up, play octaves up here, or just stick to one note bass lines. But the left hand, pretty much throughout this entire song, except for the piano solo, will be playing octaves. So low Ds in the left, F, A, D in the right. This is D minor. And he starts it with kind of a short, really gentle, D minor chord between both hands, and continues with his right hand. All right, so that was short, and now on the right hand, long, long, long. Now I say short and long, but they are all quarter notes. And the left hand comes back in on beat 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next measure, go down to C sharp in the left, and we play G, A, E in the right. We play 1, 2, 3, 4. The left hand played 1, 2, right hand, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's G, C sharp, E, G on beat 4. Going from here to here. This is all an A7 chord over C sharp in the bass. Left hand plays 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Put it together. 3, 4, and 1. And you have to be real gentle with the left hand. We're so low on the piano that even the slightest touch can be quite overpowering. So as gentle as you can, just get those bass notes out. But nothing like that, right? That's a little too much. So even that was a little too strong. All right, next measure, we have A, C, F in the right and octave C's in the left. As low as we can go on the left. This is F major in the right over C. So F over C is the chord here. We're going to hold it 2 beats in the right and then catch beat 3 and 4. Left hand does the opposite. 1, 2, hold for beats 3 and 4. Together, looks like this. 3, 4. Now we bring our left hand up to B, octave Bs. So we could technically be down here, but I think he's prepping for the next few measures where he would run out of space. So we bring it up. We have B minor 7 flat 5. So octave B flats, B's in the left, F, A, D in the right. So this is the D minor chord we played earlier, but when you put it over B, it creates B minor 7 flat 5. What's happening there? We play the full chord in the right hand, then we just play the bottom 2 notes. Then we play it again, re-articulating the left hand. The left hand finally gets a little busy with 8th notes there. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. So we re-articulate the thumb on 3 and 4, octave down to B flat. And that's where we're going to start in the next video, part 2, over at HDpiano.com. So let me go ahead and play through those 4 measures of the verse, and then we'll be good to go. 3, 4. Real gentle with the left. All right, now we're into B flat major. So I hope to see you guys over at HDpiano.com to check out the rest of this song. There's a lot of good stuff going on, and I'll be covering it all in, I believe, all 6 parts. So while I have you here, though, please like and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter so you can keep up to date with all our latest tutorials. And it's been a pleasure so far, and I hope to continue the journey over at HDpiano.com. This is Devin, tuning out.